Rhode Island's favorite realtor, Louis Wainwright, bringing you guys another self-quarantine real estate blog. Well, blog on blogs. Because I'm reading blogs and I'm just bringing you what I read and what I think about what I read. So, let's dive straight into it, man. What article did I start with today? So, check this out. Today, I started with this article and it was pending home sales in February, right? So pending home sales in February nationwide, all four big major regions were solid growth month over month and year over year. But we got to see how social distancing is going to affect all of that. So we kind of really got hit with it this month, so we won't really know the effects of it until like maybe 3 months from now. You know what I mean? Like we'll have a lot more information, a lot more data to see how this affected us. But overall, we do know it's slowing things down because most people who are out and about looking at every house kind of, pulled back a little bit. Not too much, in my experience, in my world, not too much, but I've heard from a lot of people that they've had buyers pull out of the market. Now, some highlights from this article. Pending home sales for my statistics, my statisticians. I don't know. For people who like statistics, pending home sales, a forward-looking indicator based on contract signing. Oh, it's a forward-looking indicator? I thought it was a lagging. So I hope you're still watching this video because earlier I said this is a lagging indicator. But pending home sales, a forward-looking indicator based on contract signings, rose 2.4% month over month and 9.4% year over year in February, a fresh sign that the underpinnings of the real estate market are strong. But downward pressure on those numbers is expected moving forward, like we just talked about. Lawrence Yun, that's my boy. Shout out to Lawrence. He's an economist for National Association of Realtors, I'm pretty sure. He says, I am optimistic that the upcoming stimulus package will lessen the economic damage. And it's true. Many of the home sales that are likely to be missed during the first part of 2020 may simply be pushed into late summer and autumn. And yeah, that's true, because think about it. Everyone who pull out of the market right now, like who were buyers, or even sellers, they still have that urge to buy and they still have that want or need or desire to sell. So just because they're putting it on pause now does not mean that they're not gonna hit play later on. So we could be coming to a very interesting market because this is how I'm looking at it, right? You're gonna have a time this year, hopefully this year, maybe next year, who knows how long this is gonna last, but there's gonna be a period where everything is all good, everything's clear to go, we all get the A-OK, that we can start hugging each other again, dapping each other up, doing handshakes. And during that period of time, you're gonna have a lot of sellers put their house on the market, right? Then you're gonna have a lot of buyers out there. So we're gonna have, hopefully, just on paper, and what I mean by that is that, like, for example, in sports, if you see a team full of all-stars, sometimes their chemistry isn't right. So on paper, you're going to have a team that's going to shut it down on paper. So what I mean by on paper, going back to what I was saying, is that on paper, we should have a balanced market. You're going to have a lot of inventory. You're going to have a lot of buyers. So it's going to be balanced. You know what I mean? It's going to be, super well balanced. So on to the next article. So this is what I said for this. If you want to see all the articles, you want to read them for yourself, go to my Facebook, Louis, L-U-I-S, not L-O-U-I-S or L-E-W-I-S. When I was younger, I actually wish my name was spelled L-E-W-I-S because I was a huge football fan, American football. And Ray Lewis was like my favorite linebacker. So I wish my name was spelled like his. But it's Louis, L-U-I-S, Louise. This article was a little boring, and it was. But if you have flood insurance, this is some good information to know. The NFIP, National Flood Insurance Program, provides insurance coverage to 22,000 communities across the country and protects property owners against losses from flooding, which is the most common and costly natural disaster in the U.S. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was the most common and costly natural disaster. Well, if you think about it, actually no, if I were to guess, I would have said like tornadoes or something like that. The extension will allow time for policyholders who may be struggling financially to pay insurance premiums and ensure their policies are not canceled for non-payment of premium due to circumstances beyond their control. Any policyholders who need extra time beyond the 120-day extension can contact their agent or insurer to ask about additional options. Yeah, that was pretty much it. It's just because I don't have flood insurance. I don't sell many houses that need flood insurance, so it was just kind of like doesn't really apply to me. But I still read it just in case I run into somebody who it does apply to, and I'll be able to at least recommend them read that article because I barely remember it. Now I'm playing. I remember most of it. It's just an extension. This is another article, right? This one kind of had me dying. This article understands that none of us have haircuts or nicely plucked eyebrows or the threading eyebrow. I know what you girls do. They roasting everybody subliminally with this article because this article says 3 tips to sharpen your image on a video call. I kind of feel like the person who wrote this probably was on a Zoom call and just noticed everybody looking hurt, and they were like, you know what, I'm gonna help these people out. 3 tips to sharpen your image on a video call. That is the name of the article. Again, you can find it on my Facebook page, Louis, Luis Monroy, Monroy, comma realtor, or just my regular Facebook page. For information on the VAs, this is a new article. For more information on the VA's employment verification changes, click the 2 links below. Now, I'm just gonna read one quote that it took from this because this was a pretty lengthy article, but it just had a lot of information. So this is one of them. According to the FHA, for forward purchase transactions, let me start that over. According to the FHA, for forward purchase transactions, the mortgagee, which is the person, the mortgagee, must also provide documentation of a borrower's cash reserves, equaling a minimum of 2 months of principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. What does that mean? Read the article, talk to your lender, and again, all these articles are on my Facebook page, and you can just take a look at it. But it pretty much goes into depth about the changes of an FHA loan and VA loans. And on to the next article. Now this one's gonna be the last one. And I put it here. This article was long, but it had some bars. This had like some real good information. Now I'm just gonna read like the highlights from this, all right? This the name of this article was Pandemic is Rewriting the Playbook for Mortgage Origination. Servicing is next. Housing Wire. I got this from Housing Wire. So these are the quotes. The week before last, 3.3 million people filed for unemployment in the United States. So not last week. We don't even know numbers from last week. But the week before that, 3.3 million people filed for unemployment in the United States. That's nuts. 3.3 million? These millions of unemployed Americans are our neighbors, family members, and friends, and they're worried about losing their homes. And who wouldn't be? This is a scary time. Congress's $2 trillion relief bill, the biggest in history, calls for direct payment of $1,200 per adult and $500 per child for most Americans. If you filed for your taxes in 2019 and even 2019, if you filed for your taxes, you don't have to do anything. It's automatically going to be sent out to you, and I think it's going to be it could take up to 6 weeks from what they're saying here. Let me see. Do it right here. But analysis estimate it could take up to 6 weeks or more for checks to arrive, by which time households will owe another month's mortgage, with the median U.S. mortgage payment costing around $1,500 a month. The relief will only go so far. That's pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, let me read some of these other quotes because I feel like these the industry, like lending, real estate, the Fed, our government, I feel like they're all really making moves. Like they're really hitting the jukes with getting things in play to help Americans. The ideal long-term play is to expedite refinances for the estimated 10 million plus borrowers who would save by refinancing at current interest rates. Now, this was some fuego right here, right? NBA president and CEO Bob Brooksmith, I hope I said that right. I'm sorry, Bob. He says this: the mortgage industry can best support the economy and unleash billions of dollars of fiscal stimulus by helping Americans refinance to a lower rate, thereby freeing up resources for them to spend on other needs. And that's true, because there's another statistic out there saying that Americans are sitting on like a historic high of home equity. It was something like that. Basically, a lot of people haven't refinanced, right? A lot of people have not refinanced. So he's saying right now that if we can expedite the refinancing process, so if you do like a cash out refinance, your mortgage payment might be a little higher. It might be the same depending on what your interest rate currently is. But if you can free up some cash, right, do a cash out refinance, now you got, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 in the bank now. Now you can kind of be a little at ease because your money's long. You know what I mean? Your money's long. You could afford your bills. You can afford the essentials. Who's to say what the essentials are? But I would say it's like a roof over your head and food and travel, right? And health and all that other stuff. But it's gonna help. I would say that's true. If these lending companies, if these banks could expedite refinances, then it can help us out. But at the same time, it's that everything I want to say, like in this industry, is kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, because if you do something here, something else gets affected. If you do something there, something else gets affected. So it's just. It's 2008 was not a great time, but it's a great time for data. I want to say it was a great period in time for us to study to see what to do now. Now I'm not saying that we should imitate what was happening, because back then they were doing what's called ninja loans, no income, no job or assets. And they were just giving out money to anybody, so people just couldn't afford it and were flat out saying I can't afford it, and a lot of people were being foreclosed on. This is different. This is a pandemic. This is something that we cannot control. We didn't create this. For all my conspiracy theories out there, maybe we did, who knows. But quick fact, I think Bill Gates is a part of like creating viruses and cures for them. That's just a quick fact. So it's just something to think about when people bring up, oh, we created this or whatever. Anyways, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. That's a meet up and let's get a coffee kind of talk. But that's all I got for you guys today. Be safe out there. Oh, real quick, I just kind of want to throw this out there. Lids, I swear, yo, if you're looking for a company to invest in, I don't know. I don't even know if they're public. I haven't been keeping up with stocks in a while. But if Lids is a public company, I would invest in them, because this quarter, they're going to kill it, man. You know how many people are buying hats? I done bought mad hats just because of the fact that, look at this. Look at this. You think I want to be on camera with this? Well, I guess I do, because I'm doing it right now. But Lids is going to be popping. I'm telling you, their CEO is going to look at this quarter numbers and go, diablo loco, pero qué pasó allí? What that means and translates into is like, wow, bro, what happened in this quarter? Because I just feel like a lot of people who aren't getting haircuts are just getting hats or hoodies. Hats and hoodies. But that's all I got for you today. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, let me know. Bye!